Welcome to Smithville. You picked a bad day to come. It's raining. No riding today, sorry. So we'll talk about the outdoors. It's pretty important to come out swinging at Hangtown because it sets the tone for the rest of the year, and you can obviously put yourself in a big hole at the first race, and everybody is trying to prove a point and set the bar high, and so you're really vulnerable. And that's why I think at the first race, if you get good starts and kind of hide from all that, you're in a pretty position. But everybody knows with racing, it's never pretty, and it's a test of your character and your will and everything else. And outdoors are all about tests and how you deal with them and how you adapt to them. Throughout the year, you race on different surfaces. Southwick's really sandy, and some people think they have an edge, like, oh, I grew up in the sand. Or maybe the Euro guys, like Roxon or Tyler Rattray. People like that think, oh, I raced in this stuff, I have an advantage. And racing is so mental. I think it's a lot of it's in your head. And for me personally, when I go to Colorado, it feels like home. And I think in my head, I feel comfortable, and I do better there. So I think every rider has different scenarios, different tracks, different mindsets on how they approach every track, and that's what's cool about the Nationals. Throughout the year, as you race on the different surfaces, you think the bikes would change dramatically, from sand to the hard packed at Lake Elsinore, and typically they don't change all that much. You get a good base setting and you try to fine tune from there. And I think the biggest conditions that force you to change your bike is the weather, it's like that. But mud, man, the mechanics, they go to town prepping just so the bikes will survive. But also, the bike gets so heavy underneath the fenders in the bike that it just, sucks you down on the suspension. And so those are the things you kind of look for, and you can watch as the year goes on, how much they change the bike. But from round 1 to round 12, the bikes don't change a lot, just they evolve. Obviously you learn stuff and you fine-tune your settings. The transition from Las Vegas to Hangtown, going from Supercross to outdoors, is a tough transition, and typically you spend it in California, close to all the factories, so you can test and ride and be around everybody. And you go to the local track out there, whether it's Milestone, Competitive Edge, Paula, you can name them. You show up on a Tuesday, any given day throughout the week, and half your competition's at the track, and you're surrounded by basically a race day scenario. And for me, I've done that for years. This is the first year I've spent some time in Texas before I've gone racing. And the reason I did that this year is because I feel like you're always testing, and you go into the first round and you feel like you haven't even done motos. You've just been doing 3-4 laps trying to get a feel for your bike and get it set up, and you kind of lose focus of getting prepared to go race. And I've struggled with that. I always go into the first race not feeling like I'm as prepared as I could be from the rider standpoint, where my machine feels ready. So I've tried to find a balance this year of staying in Texas, getting my mind and body and my fitness up to race pace, with trying to get my bike dialed at the same time. And I've been fortunate to have some guys come out and help me from Honda with the motor at first, and now the suspension guys here as we're leading up to Hangtown. So it's been tricky to get it all dialed in. It's kind of been an experiment for me this year. It's not normal, but I think it'll play an advantage for me this year.